Hello, my name is Don Conklin with Pinnacle Custom Signs. Welcome to another segment of Fun with Signs. Today's segment is going to be about vehicle graphics, one of the best advertising options for your business. Why use vehicle graphics? Did you know that vehicle graphics are the most cost-effective form of advertising out there? Just think about it. If you're out in traffic, if you're out driving around your town, your state, your city, look around. How many vehicles out there have their advertising, their logos, their phone numbers on their vehicles? How much time do you spend in traffic? In Atlanta itself, it's said that people spend over 120 hours a year in traffic. So, what better way to advertise your business? It builds brand awareness. If you think about it, if you have your logo or your brand on the side of a vehicle, it gets in front of people. Think about AT&T, one of the more effective advertising companies in the world. You pass their vans out there on the road, you know, because you see their globe. So they put their globe on everything, but especially on their vehicles, which are out on the road. Then it also provides contact information, or as we call it, a call to action. If you advertise your brand and you give out your name and everything, that's great. But how are they going to contact you if they really want to use your service? So it's very important to have your contact information, be it the website or a phone number, on your vehicle graphics. There are many different types of vehicle graphics. It really depends on your budget. Whenever someone calls Pinnacle Custom Signs, the first thing we ask is how much money are you looking to spend? It's not because we're trying to design a sign to maximize their budget. It's really because the cost of vehicle graphics can range from $100 up to almost $5,000. So there's a wide range there, depending on whether you're a startup business or someone that has a fleet of vehicles. We want to make sure that we have the best vehicle graphics for you. The different types of vehicle graphics we talk about are magnets, decals, rear windows, partial wraps, and then full wraps. Let's take a moment to investigate the benefits of each one of these. Let's talk about magnets first. They are the least costly. Most sets of magnets, in other words, a magnet that two magnets that go on one on each door, passenger and driver side door, have your phone number, logo, and information like that, typically run about $100, give or take. So it is the least costly way of doing it. They're removable, so you may own a business, you may run a business out of your house, and you want to advertise your business, but your homeowners association does not allow you to have advertising on your vehicles. Well, guess what? When you get home at night, you can go ahead and take those magnets off your vehicle, and you are in compliance with HOA regulations. You can provide it to contractors. Let's say that you have 1099 or contract employees that you don't want to logo their vehicle or anything like that, but they go out on jobs for you. When they're on jobs for you, they can put magnets on their vehicles. And lastly, it contains basic contact information, maybe a logo. But again, it's the most cost-effective way to do this. Let's talk about decals. We call them decals, but it really is vinyl. It could be as simple as your logo and phone number on the side of the vehicle and the back of the vehicle, up to a lot of decals which include logos across. It just depends on how big the vehicle is, right? So they advertise a business on the doors and the rear of the vehicle. Now, when I say the rear of the vehicle, if you think about it, when you're sitting in traffic, where are you more likely to see phone numbers, websites? When you're sitting behind a vehicle and you're staring at the back. So the rear of a vehicle is obviously one of the better places to put contact information. It can also show brand. As you see in the picture here, this is Minor. They do a lot of decals on their vehicles. So it's not just the basic logo, it's a bunch of logos. It's cost effective. Whereas we're going to talk about full wraps later. Magnets run about, we said about $100. Decals can run anywhere from $350 up to $1,000 depending on how many decals you put on a vehicle. You can include more information. Depends on how busy you want the vehicle graphic to be. Rear windows are also a great way to advertise your business. If you think about it, if you don't want to put vinyl on the body of your car, on the main part of your car, but you have a vehicle with large windows. So think about some of the other vehicles. A Ford Flex is what we have in this business, which has a lot of window space that we use to advertise the business. But you can have a larger graphic on that window, again, depending on the size of the window. It allows people following the vehicle to see the graphic. We talked about in the previous section that people are more likely to see your contact information looking at the rear of a vehicle in traffic than at the side of the vehicle. There's actually two ways to do rear windows. One is perforated vinyl, vinyl that you can actually print your logo on, and when you're inside the vehicle you can actually see through it so it doesn't obstruct your view. This is great if you want to have a printed type of graphic on your rear window. And there's regular vinyl, regular cut vinyl. It's opaque. We don't recommend that you cover the whole window because you won't be able to see out the back. But you can put your logo and other information on with regular vinyl on the back window of a vehicle. The next step up is partial wraps. Partial wraps, as the name indicates, is a partial wrap of your vehicle. Partial wraps are very useful when you're using your color scheme as part of the vehicle. So for example, if part of your color scheme is white for your logo, for your colors of your company, you can go ahead and purchase white vehicles and put partial vinyl on them, and it looks similar to a full wrap of the vehicle. We have a customer here in Atlanta called Unlimited Landscaping. Their colors are green and blue. What they do is they purchase pickup trucks and other trucks that are painted blue, and we just do partial wraps on them. Saves them money from a vinyl and a wrap standpoint, but it gives them a very good crisp look. Typically a partial wrap covers half of the vehicle or more. We've gone from a half up to 3/4, but it does not cover the whole vehicle. And it's less costly than a full wrap. So we talked about magnets are about 100, decals are about 400 to 1,000, rear windows about 200 to 300. A partial wrap is about $1,400 to $2,000. Again, depending on the size of the vehicle and the amount of coverage. Then we step up to full wraps. You see these all the time because they are very eye-catching. We have done several fleets of vehicles that are full wraps. And the interesting thing is on the full wraps for our fleets, they have different types of vehicles. We have one customer that's got pickups, they've got Priuses, they've got box trucks, they got vans, all different types of vehicles. But we put the same look and feel on those vehicles because we're able to take the full wrap design and include it into their vehicle. They're eye-catching, they really are. The first thing you'll notice about a full wrap is it catches your eye. But it's important that you work with a professional designer because eye-catching is one thing, but it's got to build brand awareness too. If it's so busy you don't know what it's advertising, then it did a great job of pulling your eye to the vehicle. It did a lousy job of advertising your business. It also includes contact information on there. So again, as we talked about earlier, there's got to be a call to action for you, whether it be a website, whether it be a phone number, some sort of call to action so that they can take a look, they can draw your attention, and then you can go ahead and get calls from that. One of our larger customers for wraps is a company in Atlanta called Stort Mechanical or Stort Pro Air. They wrap all their vehicles. We've wrapped about 60 or 70 of their vehicles. Well, what they will tell you is that the majority of their new customers come off of people looking at the wraps, seeing the phone numbers, and calling in. They track that. So that's why it's important to them that they wrap all of their vehicles. Regardless of what form of advertising you have, from a magnet to a decal, rear windows, partial or full wrap, it's important to get a professional designer involved with that. At Pinnacle Custom Signs, we have professional designers that if you brought your vehicle and you can go ahead and measure up the vehicle, take a look at the vehicle, and go ahead and design a graphic presentation and show it to you on a proof form so you would know what your vehicle looks like. There are many other professional sign companies that can do that as well, but it's also a hands-on experience so that as a customer you can get exactly what you would like to see on your vehicle, because when you put something on your vehicle, it'll be there for a while. There's a new trend in wraps as well, and it's been out there for a couple of different years. But it's called a color change wrap versus a paint job. And what it is basically if you want to change the color of your car. You have a white car, you want it to be black. You have a gold car, you want it to be carbon fiber blue, something like that. We can go ahead and bring your vehicle in and change the color on it. So that's what a color change wrap is. Why do you do one? Well, you price compare with painting a car. If you look at a high-end vehicle, and you look at what painting a high-end vehicle would cost, it typically runs $8,000 to $12,000 because you spend a lot of money on the car. A color change wrap could wind up costing you between $3,500 and $5,000 at the most. Also, it's not just a new color. You include new textures, new materials. You can do chrome, you can do matte, you can do metallic, you can do carbon fiber. There's all different types of vinyl that you can put on your car. And so depending on the type of vinyl and the coverage you want, that's what will determine the price for this. So just to recap for you, when you're looking at vehicle graphics, make sure that you understand what your budget is, what you're trying to convey, and understand the price points. Magnets about $100, decals $350, $400 to $1,000, rear window $250 to $350, partial wraps $1,400 to $2,000, full wraps $2,000 to $3,500 depending on size of vehicle, and then color change wraps from $3,500 to $5,000. That's kind of a ballpark depending on the company that you work with. It's pretty much in the ballpark for what we charge at Pinnacle Custom Signs for doing that work. Thank you for listening today, and we hope that you have a great day.